NLP and leadership qualities. Pacing, leading, and modeling. Pacing. A lot of entrepreneurs realize that leadership is far more than controlling. Leadership means supporting and assisting others in making desirable changes. The same pace is the prerequisite of being capable to lead others. Building up rapport enables you to adopt the same pace as the other person pacing. Verbal pacing means that you are able to verbalize aspects of another person's experiences, that you can enter into the world of the person you're speaking with. Remember, the map is not the territory, and everybody has its own map. As a way to get there, you have to say things that both of you recognize to be true. That means you have to speak only about the observations you make. Observations that are equally accessible for the other person. You have to learn to speak in sensory-based terms and avoid all interpretations. Examples? Saying, "It is a cold day," is an interpretation. Cold is relative. Saying, "I have goose flesh on my arm," is a sensory-based observation. According to NLP, the distinction between interpretation and sensory-based observation, SBO, is very important. By using interpretation, you force your model of the world to the listener and fail to give a signal that you're willing to understand their model. The sensory-based observations give the signal that you share their ongoing sensory experience and that you see the world in coincidence how they perceive it. You create a stronger perception that you share their model of the world. In his books, Be the Person You Want to Be, John J. Emmerich Jr. gives a business example. In a meeting, it is your job to present bad news about a project that is far behind schedule. You start with SBO. Now that you're all in the conference room, SBO, and it's 11:15, SBO, I'm going to talk about the XX project. You've already started, so it is pacing their experience and is an SBO. We met last Friday to discuss the project, SBO, and almost everyone was concerned about our failure to meet schedule, SBO. And as a group, we expressed the need to do a better job. Analysis. You begin with 6 SBO in a row, and then you might introduce some measurable data and facts, which would also be SBOs. With this kind of groundwork laid, it is very likely that you will have established yourself as having reached common ground. This will prepare the group for the ensuing process in which you use statements, conclusions, judgments, values, and opinions. Leading. Once you've learned to pace, you're ready for leading. Leading means making somebody else move in a certain direction. Listening closely to a person, knowing his or her roots, and being patient are indispensable in this process. According to NLP, people won't let themselves be led if there has not been sufficient pacing before. Each time you speak to people, you will use statements, conclusions, judgments, values, and opinions. With this process, you introduce others to your model of the world, and you start with persuading and influencing them. The manner in which you present these statements will make a difference in how effective you are. It's very important not to leave the common ground with the other people verbally. We need to make a decision about this contract. Is a conclusion presented as a fact, as a globally recognized truth? It creates close-minded atmosphere, which implies that other options are not considered. In my opinion, we need to make a decision about this contract. Is a conclusion presented as opinion? It avoids the presenting the conclusion as a strict fact, created by the speaker. It signalizes the listener that you are open to hearing other opinions. Some would say that we need to make a decision about this contract is a removed conclusion. It is the safest and surest way to express a conclusion and have a statement accepted. It has the highest likelihood of being accepted by the others. The level of rapport you have with the listener has a significant effect on the liberties you can take in your pacing and leading. With hostile listeners, NLP recommends to do a lot of pacing and only carefully venture into conclusions, judgments, etc. This will open the way for a better communication in the future. The more agreement you create with your listener and the broader your common base of understanding is, the more effective you will be at having your ideas understood and accepted. Modeling. A further process of NLP to enhance your leadership qualities or any particular strategy is modeling. You orient yourself by people with expertise operating in the same field with a more effective strategy. The advice is simple. Look out for top achievers. Watch them, ask them questions, make their abilities your own. According to NLP, you don't change your personality in this process. A model will always be nothing more than a generalized copy of the original. You can never achieve the same results because each person is different from the other and everybody perceives the world in his or her own way. Nevertheless, the modeler can reach equally good results as the model. You can learn from everyone. If you classify excellent achievement as innate talent, you discourage yourself and don't be cross if someone can do something better than you. 5 steps of the NLP modeling. First, you obtain access to a model in the context where he or she is a top performer. Second, you uptake the model's pattern with not attempt to understand them consciously. Third, you practice in a similar context to replicate the pattern. Fourth, you are able to reproduce the pattern consistently with equal results. And fifth, you can transfer the pattern successfully to others and teach the processes. Summary, conclusion. You have an approach to improve your leading qualities. You are encouraged to model people with excellence. You have a way how to model them.